thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 442 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from all corners of the Dakotas. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Tommy, did you hit a button like right in the middle of the
Yeah, I did.
intro?
I forgot to hit
No one else will know that, but to me, I could tell something. I was like...
I was curious if your ears would perk up a little once.
I was like, what's going... And it was just hitting me that something sounded off, and then all of a sudden it came back in. I'm like, I bet he just turned that off.
I had to hit the old original sound button.
Nobody else will know what we're talking about, though, so that was just a private conversation that we let a few of our several thousand of our closest friends in on. That reminds me, the Massenomics podcast listened millions of times all over the globe. I've been meaning to start the episode like that for the last several weeks.
Just
and I keep
start this whole thing over.
Start it over. Welcome everyone to the Massenomics podcast. Welcome everyone to the Massenomics podcast. Listened and viewed millions of times from all corners of the globe every week, every Monday for the last 442 weeks. Welcome to the journey. All millions of downloads that we've got here now.
Welcome to the journey. Don't stop believing, am I right?
Just hold on to that feeling. We've got a lot of stuff to get to this week.
We just took the first part to heart. Don't stop. Don't stop. That's it right there.
That's it. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on. Important, exciting news. We got an important announcement, a Massenomics announcement that we got cooking here. We've had cooking in the works. We've maybe dropped a couple breadcrumbs on in the past. We're going to have big Amber Hansen on as a guest here shortly this week. Cover some interesting stuff with her. But first, I want to make sure everyone is heading over to The Strength Co. It's thestrength.co. That's the website. You can buy the best made-in-America plates for your home gym, your commercial gym, your garage gym, your basement gym, your perfect little sweeties gym, whatever kind of gym you've got. Get yourself some Strength Co. plates. They're smooth, easy to grip, black, E-coated, made in America, the best plates that exist. I just ordered some Strength Co. plates today. As a matter of fact, a small side story. I found some York double-sided 100-pound plates. I've got one pair of them. I wanted one more, trying to catch back up with Bryce. Speaking of Perfect Little Swedes Gym, he's got, I think, 3 sets now.
He's
so
beating you at that game.
Still behind the 8 ball, but I snuck into his own backyard and out of Flex Gym in Sioux Falls. Got a pair of his, and he was looking for some plates as trade, and I said, well, how about I do you one better? Why don't I buy you some brand new Strength Co. plates? Because there are no better plates. They're the go-to plates of Massenomics Gym. They are the best plates, and I think you're going to really enjoy them. And he said, that all sounds very good. You sound like quite the excellent salesman, sir. So I ordered some plates to have shipped directly to him, and coincidentally, Bryce is going to pick up the 100-pound plates for me. I needed a guy that really knows his way around a pair of 100-pound double-sided York plates.
So what's
and
he
who
do?
better than...
Is he just going to hang on to him for you or what?
He's just going to hang on to him until crew falls.
Well, technically you will be here. We're going to talk about that soon. You're technically going to be here.
Oh, that's true, too. I actually forgot about that. He also made mention that maybe him and Paul would do a little road trip up north sometime to come do a little lifting. So we'll see. But actually, that's true. Great point. I will be there soon, and we'll get to that soon, too.
Mm-hmm. This episode is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.store to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, most importantly, make sure to use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order. That's barefoot.store. Code Massenomics will save you 10%. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
They're great. Barefoot shoes. Just seeing if making sure all the listeners are awake. Just screaming in their, want to click in their ears a little bit.
What does it put a little makeup? I want to do.
Yeah, 50% off sale is actually, as of recording this, it's going on as the time you're listening. It's over, right? I guess you could listen on Sunday and it's still going Sunday, or is it?
I guess if you're catching this on YouTube first thing, technically the 50% off sale is still going on, but there's a good chance that sizes are slim pickings.
My wife just texted. She goes, "Was that you yelling?"
I said, "No. What are you talking about?"
Like, no, it was the robbers. Here. Yeah, the 50% off sale going dashingly, right? Going.
I mean, we're only
awesome.
a few hours into it right now, and it's gone really good.
A lot of stuff is actually sold out. We moved a lot of the product. Sizing and quantities is extremely limited in what's available. So if you are interested, hop on it now. If you're able, if you're listening live, go hop on it now. If you're listening on Sunday, maybe there's still a little bit there left. We also restocked the Crispy Boys banner, the new and improved and better than ever Crispy Boys banner. Hotter than ever, high demand for that thing. It will also not last long. The first order of those that we got sold out almost immediately, and this order is also off to a fast track start, so they will not be around for long. The Crispy Boys banner, the big banner, it's 28 inches tall, like 5 feet wide, and it's the Big Daddy banner. It's the one everyone wants.
Yes, it is.
And then, well, do we talk about our big exciting news? Do we let everyone in on the big exciting news? Okay, so yeah, you alluded to it. I completely forgot about that this involves me going to Crew Falls. I will be in Crew Falls again next week.
Just
like my home away from home.
Turn
it
into a local here. Just get down here every other week.
I should get some residency. Like, I wonder if there's is there many decent apartments for rent?
There's a lot of apartments. They're not cheap though, I can tell you that. If you want a luxury apartment, we have got you covered.
What I do like is expensive things.
Yes. Yeah. Then you're in the right place.
Yes. I will be there, Wednesday night? The 25th?
I believe so, yeah.
So this episode comes out the 22nd, 23rd, and I'm coming down there the 25th that night to sleep in your spare bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Just to test it out, and that's it.
It's pretty much your bedroom at this point. You hadn't been there for a while,
spare bedroom you got here.
Got to see how it's going still.
No, but we are flying out the next morning. We have a big trip planned. One of the biggest Massenomics trips. It's actually up there with some of our other big ones. I guess a handful of other trips we've done. We have a huge trip planned.
Action-packed itinerary. This is actually the most stops we're ever going to make in a trip right here.
So we fly out Thursday the 26th, and where the heck are we flying to? You're kind of the itinerary.
You say that
you're the booker.
You say that, but at the same time, this has been my life has been so crazy lately that I feel like I've put no thought into this, and we actually haven't talked a whole lot about this either. So I even have to just look again.
We got some final planning to do.
We
do have flights booked, so we are going somewhere.
Yeah, cross the T's and dot all the lowercase J's. But we are going to be flying into Charlotte, North Carolina, and the itinerary is going to look roughly something like this. We're going to go see on
Thursday. We get there like Thursday at noonish.
Yeah, Thursday at like noon. So we're flying out of Sioux Falls at like 5 a.m. We're going to get to Charlotte, North Carolina. Later that day, we're going to go film some stuff with the Thompsons, Jen Thompson. Probably hop
at their home gym.
Yeah, at their home gym. Maybe get a little training session action of some kind. Film some
YouTube.
Yep. This trip is all about filming YouTube videos. So we'll film a couple videos with them. That night, we will make the trip just down the road to our hotel, and then we're going to be up early the next day, spending that all day with Juji Mufu. And
at his place,
which there are going to be a lot of content happening there, and that will be an all-day
probably
thing.
Recording a podcast with them.
Yeah, probably a podcast too. Yep, that's the plan. Podcast and probably 2 to 4 YouTube videos, and so that's all day on Friday. Yep. And then we're going to get up Saturday morning, and this is the one that might surprise some people, depending on how close you pay attention to things.
Saturday, you heard them on the beginning of this episode.
Saturday morning, we are going down south to South Carolina to go see our good friend Donnie Thompson.
Yeah.
And we will be filming some videos with him as well. And then later that day, we have to head back up north to catch the airplane to come back to Western,
fly back
to
out
South Dakota.
Saturday evening to get back late to Crew Falls.
So it is.
And then I'll drive home from there. Just a little 3-hour drive down the road after dark.
It's an action-packed trip. I'm sure we will be ready to not talk or do anything for like 3 days after that, because it's not like a vacation. It's you kind of got like your YouTube content face on for 3 straight days, which is quite exhausting. And on top of that, we're adding in a lot of travel, a lot of other stuff. So yeah, it's going to be wild.
It's a really fun trip, a really exciting trip, but it is not just lifting and drinking. It is like a lot of work making sure we got everything working. Making sure our thing is we're investing quite a bit of time and money into this, so we got to get bang for our buck. And the way we do that is by knocking out a whole bunch of cool, fun content while we're there for everyone to check out when we get back.
Yes.
Somebody said, talk to Donnie about dumbbells. We're of course going to talk to Donnie about dumbbells. That will not be off the table with Donnie. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Nothing will be off the table, and I think that's just the way he likes it.
Exactly. So yeah, there's going to be you'll just see a ton between podcasts and YouTube videos and Instagram content over the next few weeks and months, depending on what channel you're looking at. But there'll be a lot of content coming out of this for the foreseeable future.
It goes along with our theme that we've just been like really there again, investing time. Time's the biggest thing. We're investing a lot of time into like our content.
It's like if more is more, then we got to do more, right?
We're doing a lot between our Sioux Falls trip this last time, this one, and then a number of other things we have planned and like Black potentially Friday, planned beyond this.
There's a lot going on right now. It's quite busy.
Yes. So we're excited for that trip. It will be a blur, and I will be tired. When
I remember after the one we did last year,
Tate.
going to Elite FTS, and then with Dr. Mike, partly probably just through the pure excitement of it all, and just, I mean, there was a little bit of an element of starstruckness to the whole thing, and just go, and then also the content thing, that by the time we got home the next day, I had like a killer headache, and I think it was just exhaustion had hit was what had happened there.
Yeah, when we even just left Dr. Mike's after that trip, because we could have potentially even stayed for like just a little bit more, and it's kind of like, might be nice to just
we
go.
both said like, yeah, let's just maybe go to the airport and just sit and do nothing. That sounds better. I think we got there and ate Chick-fil-A and just sat down. Like that was.
Yeah, and we're arguably, I mean, I don't even think it's arguably, I think we're packing even more into this trip. So.
Oh, we 100% are. Yes. So there's no doubt about it. We are.
And I've actually made a couple of contingency plans just in case we have any spare time. That we have some extra stops that we could hit.
We do have some audibles we can call to like make things even busier. So there could be.
I don't know that that'll work or not, but
there is the potential.
But there again,
for extra
if
stops.
we're doing it, if we're going to be there, we're going to be away from home. It's like let's get, because who knows how long it'll be until we're back to North Carolina. Because I mean, I think
I'm 35 and I haven't been there yet, so it might be 35 more years before I get there again.
Right. Well, and I do think it's not like we're going to slow down this content thing or even making trips like this, but we've got a list, we've got the next 5 pins on the map that we want to get to after this one. So,
yep.
Yeah. What are we flying? Chris D said, hope you're flying Delta.
Is it Delta? Flying American. I know our plans changed. We tried to book it one day and then we waited and then we went back and that airline prices had gone up considerably.
My faith in airlines is 0.
I know. Let's see.
So you just keep your fingers crossed and you hope. It's all you can do, right?
Oh, we are flying Delta actually.
Keep your fingers extra crossed.
Yeah, with a trip this tight, a day and a half delay would really mess a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, it'd be like, well, the trip is you just ruined the trip for us is what happens then. Yeah, so stay tuned when the first bit of that content starts to come out. Reminds me, our YouTube video, the day we're recording now, it comes out tomorrow. We've got a gym tour with the Beast from the Southeast at Perfect Little Sweeties in Crew Falls. A really cool gym tour video. I've only gotten to watch a little bit of it. Tommy, you edited it, so you've actually got to see the whole thing, of course, but I think people are really going to enjoy that.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a fun one.
Whether you know Bryce or don't know Bryce, I don't think it matters. By the end of this, you're going to say, that looks like a home gym I'd like to go train at a little bit.
Yeah, there was a few lines he had in there that made me laugh quite a bit. There was some good stuff in there.
Yeah, so I'm excited for people to be able to check out that video. The last video we put out was in your garage gym where we reviewed the Hansu combo rack.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, look, sounds like a real piece of shit. And I'm like, I wouldn't say it's a piece of shit. It just is it is a more budget friendly rack. And then we identified a few issues with it. And I guess we got a few updates on that. So like part of it, a smaller part of it was user error on the way that those, the adjustments for rack in and rack out work. Basement Branded pointed out to me, and one other person did too, that they're like, I think it kind of works like this. They showed that to me, explained that to me. I went and did it. I'm like, yeah, that does work a decent bit better. And then by making that adjustment, actually the face saver adjustment up and down glides better. So kind of in two minor problems in one, it kind of fixed both.
Why didn't you just read the directions to figure that out, Taylor?
Well, that is part of the, where the criticism could come in. Then it's like, it wasn't overly intuitive to know to do that. And it certainly does not spell it out to do that. So, and I'm not a novice to gym equipment either,
right, yes.
or even to combos. I've used multiple different ones. This is just different than any that I've ever used before. And there again, like I said, it wouldn't just be openly intuitive if you didn't it wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. For some it might be, but I didn't just obviously know that.
Yeah.
So
and I think it's safe to say, if we're having, not that we are the geniuses around this, but if we're having issues, there's a good chance that other people would have the exact same problem too.
Right. But with a little help from some other people, I kind of got that straightened out. The one thing about it that I think is still off is the bench positioning, and also a little bit the spotter deck positioning, those two things. That absolutely is off, the bench positioning. That 100% is. And I think I've got a way to maybe take just a couple small brackets to a welder here in town, and they'll be able to adjust that enough that that's probably actually just fine too. So then all of a sudden that rack is pretty okay, especially for like the $1,200. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking to the owner of Hansu, and they watched the video. They took everything we said into account. They're already making some changes based in part by that and some critiques that other people had. And it shouldn't be long until they have a version that's better, actually.
They're going to call it the Massenomics edition, and it's going to be red.
It's the Massenomics edition. And it may be possible that we get our hands on that and we are able to put out an update, what we think of this, an updated video with our thoughts on the updated version.
They said, thank you.
So stay tuned.
Thank you for your feedback. We have now decided to move the bench back even farther, just to spite you guys.
We'll show those jackasses.
We'll show you a bench that's off.
Yeah.
It was awesome. You sent the guy an email, and you never know with that if you're going to hear back from anyone or not. But the guy got back to you pretty fast.
Right away.
You said, right? Yeah. And
like within a day,
and had good information to say. And
also he was able to take a little bit of constructive criticism, and some people can't.
Yes, which is, like we said, we're not the world's experts, but we have been around a little while and tried out a decent number of pieces of equipment. So I think we have some valid criticism, and they did seem receptive to it. So I'm very curious to see if or what goes into effect here, and they could just probably some very minor things for almost no money have a really solid product on their hand.
Right. Something that actually is like a really good value at that point. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for more Hansu power updates as they continue to develop, and we continue to keep. It's a very fluid situation over here on the Hansu power combo rack situation. Very fluid. Okay, do we want to talk about one of the other of these things? Supporting our supporting members. We got to pop that in here at some point in time.
Yeah,
too.
Maybe, because I don't think this takes super long. Explain to me. I haven't been paying much attention, but what's going on with this Kabuki situation?
Well, the Cliff Notes version is here's the headline. Kabuki - Chris Duffin doesn't work there anymore.
That's got some real snap to it.
Exclamation mark.
Question.
Chris Duffin is not affiliated with Kabuki anymore, which is an odd thing. I made a joke in the Discord where I said, would this be a bad time to tell everyone that Tommy and I are no longer affiliated with Massenomics and it's being moved out of South Dakota? Because that is comparable to me. If we said Tommy and Tanner no longer work at Massenomics and it's moving to Florida, would people not be like, well, what is Massenomics then?
Right.
Like, what is left?
Yeah, I mean, we are a little more extreme in the fact that the way, so
it's very extreme to put it in that.
But yeah, I mean, it's not totally like he definitely did position himself as the figurehead of the company, and like I don't actually know the inner workings of how that went, but from the outside, that's what it appeared.
Yeah, and so they're moving out of the Pacific Northwest. Then also operations. I heard maybe also the Carolinas, so maybe we'll see them there.
Probably run it there. I bet
the email was odd. It was from the new CEO, and it basically said like, Chris Duffin, good luck on your next journey. We're moving out of Oregon, but I'm not telling you where we're going or what we're doing next.
Did it say anything about for the lifters, by the lifters? Was that included?
No, this wasn't. I don't think they're starting a new powerlifting federation. Thank God. Okay. That's going to be the next email. It'd be like, all this to say we are starting the Kabuki Powerlifting Federation. This one really is for the lifters. Yes. It's different, I swear, guys.
Trust me, bro. This one's different.
Just one more federation, bro. It's different this time. So that's what I know about Kabuki. It's weird. They obviously have been making changes. The other owner, Rudy, he had just like recently exited within the last month or two, and then they were doing all this rebranding. It seemed to look like Chris Duffin was a part of all of that. Mm-hmm. I would say even as of like yesterday, he was sharing information about this new updated transformer bar on a social media. And then like all of the sudden is what it felt like. It's like, nope, I don't work here anymore. So I would be curious to know what the story is behind the scene. I thought about messaging Chris and asking him if he wants to come on the podcast and tell the story, because he might want to, and some people would probably like to hear what the story is. So
yeah, because it is interesting. Because like when you go on the website and you scroll down, the first thing you see is his picture still,
right? Which
is unusual. And then you scroll down and you see his picture again.
So
and you scroll down, and you see it again.
I'm sure there's rumor mill stuff out there about what's going on, but
yeah,
with everything going on,
with everything going on and all,
a lot of goings-ons at Kabuki. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what that company even is in like a year. Who knows? Maybe they'll take it to another level. Maybe they're going to change the game.
There's a good chance.
Or maybe they're just going to sell it to Rogue Fitness.
There's a good chance something will happen.
Or
I don't know what that thing is. But
yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm up to speed.
All right. That's what that is. Supporting our supporting members. I'll touch on that.
I have to walk away for a moment, Tanner. You got this? You got
Yep, I got
support?
this. I'll talk a little supporting our supporting members. I would mention, if you're listening to this live, this actually is a paradox. It doesn't make sense. If you're listening to this live, I was going to say there's still time before the live in the sand to join up to become a supporting member. But that doesn't make sense because everyone that's listening live already is a supporting member. So when this comes out to everyone else on September 22nd, 23rd, I don't know that there's time left for you to join up before the line in the sand, before we fix the list that we'll be getting this upcoming crew gift, this personalized crew gift that's going out to everyone. We'll be sharing where exactly that line in the sand is on our social media. So I would say if you're listening to this on Sunday or Monday, I think you can still get signed up, but it's probably going to be like Tuesday or Wednesday that week that the line in the sand is drawn. So if you don't sign up by then, next week, say about the 25th or the 26th, about the time that we're leaving for the Carolinas, you will be then too late to get signed up and get this free gift. You can still get signed up after that, but you'll miss out on this mailer. But maybe you still want to get signed up to get in on the next mailer that's going to come after that. What you get by becoming a supporting member, well, you get access to our Discord community. It's the only way you get in on that. You can listen to the podcast live then, like those that I was talking about are. You get early access to drops. You get early information on drops. You get early sign up for the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. Is actually kind of quite a big deal. This year, for example, I don't know if you're not a supporting member or a Massenomics gym member, it may almost be impossible to even make the roster because it will go to them first. And if you're not a supporting member, there might not be any spots left. That's just some of it. One of the other few things, or one of my favorite things I would say, is supporting our supporting members, where we give back to those that support us each week on this podcast. And this week I've got a pretty good list to shout out here. Big Tyler Thompson won the Rogue Trifecta Challenge for the heavy division. He was actually featured on Rogue's Instagram page as a winner. I'm not exactly sure what the prize was for that. I'm assuming it was something, but he had 3 big lifts there. It was like overhead press, a sumo deadlift, and a front squat, I think.
The best part of that was, weren't the rules requiring a sumo deadlift? And then the number of people that were mad, like, he did a sumo deadlift. It was like 700-pound sumo deadlift. Yeah.
You know, it was like,
I think he said he taught himself sumo deadlifts that week,
yeah,
so he could do that.
Yeah. Big Sam Brown got engaged. So congrats on the pending funeral, my friend. Big Austin Turner got married. Ooh. He put those green shorts to use and got himself married. So congrats on the funeral.
This probably adds to the wrestling storyline now that he's a married man.
That's like, I could see someone like one of his competitors trying to steal his woman or something, and it causing a rift.
Yep, that's how that goes.
I don't know is he a heel? I don't think Austin Turner's a heel in the story.
No, he's probably got a target on his back now, though.
Yeah. The wolf at the top of the hill has always got a lot of targets on his back. Big Ben competed in Nebraska's Strongest, and Big Ben Bile, and he pulled 725 pounds on the silver dollar deadlift for a PR.
Solid ass pounds.
Yeah, solid ass pounds. Big Dodzilla competing back again, lean and mean and trim Dodzilla at Great Lakes Strongest, taking home first place in the Masters division. And it also looked like Big Tyler Thompson again was there in attendance, and maybe one other crew member. I'm forgetting now who it might have been. But then Big Katie won first place in her Steinhold competition, and Big Bowen got third place in a strongman in Ohio, and that included a 265-pound pea gravel bag that it looked like he carried for about a metric mile.
An important distinction.
Yep, in his pea gravel bag. I think it was pea gravel. It might have been sand, but I just assume it was pea gravel, I guess.
Yeah.
So thank you to those supporting members. I also want to encourage everyone to check out Build Fast Formula. That's the supplements that we use, that Tommy and I both use. They're based out of Watertown, South Dakota, just down the road from both of us, up the road from Tommy, down into the east from me. BuildFastFormula.com. Check out their full collection of supplements there. When you purchase anything from them, any order, use discount code Massenomics. It saves you 10% on that full order. If you sign up for a subscription on any of their products, it also saves you an additional 10%, so you can save 20% on the order. We like to use Vaso Blitz and Full Blitz. They're pre-workout formulas. We use both of those. We also use the 80-20 protein powder. And they recently came out with the creatine, but haven't bought any of that yet. I keep trying to make myself take creatine, but it's still an uphill battle. So eventually when I make myself take it, then I'll order some more from BuildFastFormula.com.
And this episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Texas Power Bars are our go-to bar in the gym for a number of years now. And now is a great time to add a Texas Power Bar of your own to your gym, because they are offering a flash sale with up to $50 off select bars right now. Bars like the All-American Bar, the Texas Bench Bar, the Texas Bodybuilding Bar, and the Texas Deadlift Bar. Probably the quintessential deadlift bar for that matter. All those bars are available in a variety of finishes, from bare steel to Cerakote in a wide variety of colors. So hop on over to TexasPowerBars.com, take advantage of the sale, and add a Texas Power Bar to your home gym collection. You will not regret it. Thank you, Texas Power Bars.
Won't regret it for a freaking second, will they?
No, they will not.
Okay, so we've got big Amber Hansen with us on the Massenomics podcast. Finally, a long time coming, if I don't say so myself. We're excited to get you on. We've got a whole bunch of questions here. A lot of good listener submitted questions. A lot of themes that people ran with. So we'll get to some good stuff there. I think we'll talk about your, how strong you are, how good of a powerlifter you are too. But I think some of the first that we got to cross paths with you was some of my favorite stuff. It was bathroom discussion, which
hell yeah,
which is some of my favorite. But to touch on some of the powerlifting stuff, you've done a lot of meets. I looked up open powerlifting history. I don't know if there's like 30. I'm just guessing. You've done a lot of raw, a lot of multiply meets. You have the world record multiply squat, 810 pounds for your weight class, right?
Yep, that's me.
And then are you working on, like, I guess this came up from a couple people too. Do you have big bench goals, like an unlimited bench goals? What's the goal there?
Yeah, so I took some time off. I've been working with Jimmy Cole, which you guys know.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, just name dropping right off the bat.
But really, though, what does that guy know about benching, though, right?
That's true.
Right? Like, I don't know. He read a book once or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been working with Jim. It's cool because my coach and him are working together on kind of an unlimited plan. I once held the unlimited all-time world record, but now Ashley, I don't know how to say her last name, so I don't want to butcher it, but she's got that at 700. So I want to try and get up to her level. And that's kind of what we're working on now in the off season. And it's been a blast.
So do you
lots of bandy boinging.
Is that possible then? Like, does it feel like that's something that you could be at?
I think so. Now that I got these forearms and hands under control, that's honestly the biggest limiting factor. God, they just hurt so bad.
So
yeah.
But yeah, now that I've figured that out, hopefully it's there. I just hit 650 to the smush board at Elite this past weekend, so that was a good indicator.
Yeah.
Okay. And unlimited is relatively new in like the way that it's recognized. Like, what is the actual equipment you're using when you're doing this? So
if anyone's ever had their knees wrapped, just imagine that material formed into a bench shirt.
Okay. So it's an entire shirt then.
Yes. So it's an entire shirt. It covers the armpits. It has a chest. It closes in the back with Velcro. And it's a lot.
So as someone that does multiply raw, you've done kind of it all. People a lot of times, Tanner and I, neither one of us have done any equipped lifting in our days.
We've worn knee sleeves before.
Yeah,
Does that count?
we've worn knee sleeves.
They were pretty stiff
Yeah.
knee sleeves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you had to get help to put them on, you're
Yeah. We have bow ties too. We put bow ties on before. So yeah, we're pretty much
I love
right
a bow tie.
But a lot of people, they talk about the technicality of the of equipped lifting. Like, does unlimited, does it have those same? Is it more forgiving, or is it still like very technical in that aspect?
I would say, and then I'm going to preface this with this is all my personal experience because the internet will come for me, I'm sure. I don't think it's as technical as benching multiply in poly material or denim or whatever you chose to do. But there is a huge technicality factor, especially in the amount of overload that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's freaking scary. Like, my raw bench is 340 something, and I'm handling the mid sixes right now.
So that is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't do all the work, but it does quite a bit. I will say it does quite a bit.
In a way, in the sense that it's a lot more weight than what your raw is, but it's still not like you're talking about just even your hands and your forearms and all that. It's not doing any of that work for you though.
Yep.
I do like you're wearing the powerlifting record holder. You are actually a powerlifting record holder. I mean,
that's why I love wearing this shirt. Everyone's like, "What the?" wait, can I say bad? I can say bad words. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
All
It
right,
actually
sick.
like coincidentally glitched for just a second while you were saying that. So it actually sounds like it was like bleeped out.
Bleeped
but,
out.
You can rest assured that we're not that on top of it that we bleeped that out.
Oh, it's too much work.
Yes. Yeah. So is that kind of the next goal then? The next competition would be in that unlimited benching. I mean, because you kind of still switch back and forth between raw and multi-equip, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
I guess what my bigger question is, which one do you like better, or is it not really an answer like that?
In terms of like full power wise, I like equipped lifting way better. Benching, I don't know, it's a toss up because I love raw benching. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of poly benching and also unlimited. So I don't know, it's kind of a tie there. But if we're talking about like full power stuff, I'm way more of an equipped girly.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about your training then? So you live in Ohio?
Hmm.
Do you train regularly at Elite FTS? Is that one of the places that you train at? Is the main place you train at, or is it an occasional place that you train at?
Yeah, so I train at two gyms. I live in Dayton, Ohio. So during the week, like work week or whatever, I train at the Dirty Gym, which is downtown Dayton, awesome facility. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, that's where I go when I go to Elite and do my heavy squatting or heavy benching.
Tanner
Okay,
and
so
I
you're
are
just
big,
going there in the
Tanner and I are big Dayton guys. We've been there several times now in the past couple of years, so we really get what you're saying.
We're really familiar with that hotel restaurant area right next to the
right by
interstate
the
that
Texas
we-
Roadhouse. There's a Raising Cane's there. Yeah,
Off
we got that area.
75.
We got that area down.
Yeah,
We've been the last time we were there. I'm like, wait, haven't we stayed like exactly here before?
Yeah, we're
and eaten
driving
at
through.
these same
Tanner's like, God,
places?"
this feels familiar. It's like, yeah, we were right here 6 months ago. That's why this feels familiar.
yeah, it's like anytime you come into this town, it's deja vu all over again because everywhere looks the same unless you go downtown.
That
But yeah,
Raising Cane's was
Dayton's
good though.
Yeah, can't beat it. We got all kinds of those. We got, Canes, we got a couple Chick-fil-A's. It's pretty popping down here.
Yeah. So we made that drive before from Dayton to London. How far is? I can't really
Is that
remember.
about
it's
an
not like
hour-ish?
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
right down the road. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so my house is in like North Dayton, so it's about like 45, 50 minutes to London.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
London is not quite as happening of a town though, from what we.
Also, speaking of bathrooms,
We actually do have to tell you this story. This is honest to God.
Segue.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
okay.
a poop story from Elite?
Not like kind of. So we were going, we came from Dayton. I think we ate lunch. We grabbed lunch somewhere quick in Dayton or
At the
I think
Raising
maybe
Cane's,
that's-
yes.
Yeah, at the Raising Cane's. And then we headed to London. And by the time we got there, we did, I think we both had to take a shit.
Yeah.
Is what, like, both like,
Of course.
We've
and
been up since like 3:30 in the morning. Like, so it was-
right.
Oh yeah,
right.
it was poop time. It was
Yeah.
poop
It-
30.
yeah.
Yes, and we had never been to Elite FTS before. This was our first time, and I was picturing they have a bathroom there that's a shitty little one-stall gym bathroom, and I'm like, I don't really want to go in there and have our first impression is both of us taking 10-minute turns in the bathroom and just destroying it and being like, okay. And then like I was picturing the door opening like right into the gym, and like I was like, maybe we could avoid doing that. So we went to a gas station in London, and we're like, okay, we'll just grab we'll grab some waters here, and then we'll use the bathroom.
No, Tanner, the first one was just closed.
Okay,
We
yeah,
couldn't
well,
even go to the bathroom.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't. Our bathroom's not open to the public, or what? Like we have no bathroom.
So then
And
Was
I'm
it
like,
one of the ones where you had to go get like the key on a stick?
but
I
it
don't
was
even-
like not even available at
Yeah,
all.
it was. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't remember on that one if we had to do that or
The
not. but-
COVID times?
No,
it was
was
just. I think
like,
they just said it was straight up closed. You're like, what's
Yeah.
with the bathroom? They're like, no, it's closed right now. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Shitter's full.
Yeah,
yeah. And you know that feeling when you you kind of having to go to the bathroom, and then you're like almost to the place where you're going to get to go to the bathroom, and then you don't get to, you're like, okay, now I suddenly really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
like I was preparing myself, preparing myself for getting in there. And so then we go to the next one, and this was not a nice gas station. It wasn't even, it was a very, very bottom tier gas station, but I'm like, well, we'll make it work. I opened the door to the bathroom, and it was the most horrific bathroom I've ever seen in my life. And I was in the Army, and we'll talk about so I've been in some like fairly bad bathrooms before.
You've had the Porta John morning.
Yes. But I swear to God, I opened it up. This looked like something out of, I'm not a horror film like Saw.
That's what I thought of first.
Looks like something straight out of Saw, where I'm like, there was shit all over the wall. Like, I mean, I opened the door, looked at like the guy working the front desk, and like he didn't look at me and make eye contact, but I was like, wanted to give him a look of like, seriously, dude, like this is terrible. And he never looked, and I just closed it and left. And we eventually, he knew. We eventually then went to McDonald's and used their bathroom before.
That's always a safe bet. But then when you got to a lead,
this was all for nothing.
Like, oh.
And we're like, what were we doing? We should have been here.
This is the largest gym bathroom I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's where I go and stand in the middle of training because it has AC. So I'm like, I'm so hot. Yeah. And I'll just go chill in the bathroom for a second.
Right. The bathrooms there are amazing, though.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Who planned that? I don't know if we really talked to David. Like,
probably Tracy.
Okay. That is not your typical gym bathroom.
No,
especially not your powerlifting gym bathroom.
No, because if you come in the side door and you like see everything, like it's a beautiful gym. It has everything you'd ever need, like amazing facility. But you're like, the bathrooms could go either way. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you walk in there and you're like, Jesus, am I in a Marriott? What the fuck?
That is what it's like.
It smells good.
Yes. We were like, So you've done a bathroom review at Elite FTS. You've done some other ones before, and people get a good kick out of that. We of course do too. We have this thing of making a point about the Arnold bathrooms every year. And I think you did you did a good Arnold bathroom tour this year too, didn't you?
I did. I was a big fan of that. And it was actually your guys' sticker, because we were talking about the bathroom review, and there's a girl, I forget her Instagram handle or TikTok, whatever. And she does like, come take a shit with me. And she'll go into like Prada and Gucci and like super high-end stores and review their bathrooms. I'm like, I'm going to do this for gym bathrooms and like meet days, because it's just going to be diabolical. And the Arnold did not disappoint.
Yeah.
It never does.
It never does. So when's your next bathroom review coming, do you think?
Shoot, I don't know. I'm so boring. I go to like 3 places.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. My boyfriend Jason's got a meet in River City in Northern Kentucky in November. So I'll probably do one there. And then I'm going up to speak at Swiss in Toronto with Dave and Tom Shepard. So that'll be fun. I'll probably do one there. But that's probably like at a hotel or someplace nice. So it won't be too raunchy.
Yeah, we met your boyfriend at the Arnold too this last year, and I remember having a conversation with him and him saying, "Oh, and yeah, my girlfriend powerlifts too," and he's like, "She's much stronger than I am," and your boyfriend is not a small man, and I was like,
"No,
really?" I was like, "She's much stronger than you?" I'm like, "Who the hell is your girlfriend?" And then he said it, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But I'm like, the list of people that could possibly be your girlfriend based on what you described is really short.
Yeah, we have a good time with that. He just started his multiply. He's got his first multiply meet in November, and he did his first raw meet last year. So he's been fun to watch, like progress and everything, and learn equipment. Because he's like, this freaking sucks. It's so much pressure, and we're all like, at Elite, we know.
Yeah. So
you're doing great, sweetie.
Do you coach him at all or anything, or is that as a couple, is that something your relationship can handle or not?
No, it was. So he's gonna die laughing at this.
Yeah.
So when we first got together, I did coach him, and I coached him through his first raw meet. And I was like, listen, I love you, but if you want me to like you, I cannot coach you.
Yeah.
And like, because that's the thing, is like keeping, personal, professional separate is a big deal to me. And like, I've coached people over the years, and like the last couple years, I offloaded all my clients because like it's just hard to balance being in the military and like having a boatload of clients and everything. So I'll take on some folks here and there. But yeah, so I'll still help. So he's coached by Todd Brock out at Elite, along with a few of the other folks there. So they're in that crew, and like I'll help out during the week, or I'll like give pointers, or like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? But it's been good having that separation of powerlifting and relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Training at Elite FTS, like I think a lot of people want to know what that's like. I mean, we've gotten to be there before. We obviously don't train there or anything. It's an awesome gym. It's hard to describe, if you haven't been there before, but, what are your thoughts on training there? I mean, it's obviously a great training environment. I just can only assume, but like anything else that sticks out to you about training there regularly?
Yeah, it's cool because it's the first place. So like when you get to be a certain level at wherever gym you're at, like there's a point where I don't want to say outgrow the crews, but like, hey, I want someone to chase, or I want someone to push me. And that's been a really good outlet to go there and train with folks who you can be competitive with and who can push you in certain areas. And also just the amount of experience of each freaking eyeball on people there is priceless. So like Dave will catch something, Tom will catch something, Matt Smith will catch something, Todd, Naomi, and there's like a really good mix of elite raw lifters, old school West Side dudes, equipped, single ply, strongman, and then just like the amount of experience that you have available to you is incredible. And like it's something special, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. And just being around Dave like that is probably fun. I mean, is he there training? Like when you're training, is he around then usually too, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the crews train during the week too. So I think they're Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evenings. I'm not sure if he's there, but every Saturday and Sunday he's there. He benches with us. He's got the Dave mono, and he's doing his thing with whatever equipment and like crazy chain band combo that he's cooking up. And like it's cool because we'll probably have, usually depending on if there's visitors or not, there'll be 4 or 5 monos in that whole row, because you guys have seen it, and they'll be all taken up with people, different crews doing different stuff. And it's cool because like, hey, this person's up, everyone rotates to the mono that needs the spotters and the mono runner, and then vice versa. So it's like you never have to worry about getting spotted or safety or whatever. And the same thing on bench days. Usually there's like 3 or 4 benches that are taken up, and we're all, doing our own thing with whatever kind of accommodating resistance, whatever boards, and everyone's handing off to each other. And it's like a cool kind of like zone defense almost. It's like everyone shifts to where they need to go without having to say shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like in the last, maybe it was a couple weeks ago, did Dave have a video on his Instagram that you had edited where it was just like him, like it was like him not doing the lift, but like breathing and bracing, and that was it?
Yeah. Have you seen those videos of like,
it's like,
I asked my Gen Z coworker to take a video of me. And like, it's funny because every time well, not every time, but a lot of times when he's getting ready to do something crazy, he's like, oh, he'll throw me his phone. Cause like I'm like, all right, I gotta get the low angle and get the cool shit and like
Yeah.
zoom in on his face when he's passing out or something. Cause he does so much funny shit that like, and I have a ton of videos on my phone just of like random stuff, and I know that he'll eventually use them and it'll turn into something amazing.
Mhm.
But like that's one of my favorite things to do is like to get all the good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's probably the first video I saw of that trend of like, I let my Gen Z, intern or coworker edit it. And like, I don't even know if he had that caption on his or whatever, but yours was the
I'll
first
think
one I
so.
saw of that. And then I've seen other people do it. And I'm like, no, the Dave one was the best. That one's really good.
Yeah. I was pretty proud of that one. I'm like, damn, should I be a videographer? No, absolutely not.
You might already know about this, but I want to point it out just in case you don't. TateSounds.com. Right. You know about TateSounds.com. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That was made by
The
one of the
soundboard.
Massenomics. Yeah, that was made by one of the Massenomics crew members.
Was it really?
Yeah, and we got to I think we
yeah.
got to show him that. We got to show Dave, or we talked to Dave about that when we were there on the podcast. But I just wanted to make
probably
sure you
loves
knew
it.
about it because I'm sure it could come in handy at some point in time for something.
Oh yeah, we've used it for several things.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So good. They're
That's
so
good to know. Big Nate, the guy that made it, will be happy to hear that.
Thank you, Big Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you for that absolute treasure of a gift you gave the powerlifting community.
Yeah. Yes. So we talked about the bathrooms. Some of these might be obvious, but maybe you got some interesting insight specifically. What qualities do you think make for a good female gym bathroom?
Oh man. No piss on the floor. My
At
bar
least
is pretty
minimal.
low. Yeah. Piss on the floor. Like decent toilet paper. Like if you come at me with single ply, even if it's a number one, like straight to jail. Absolutely. Jail. Not okay. Good smells. Like obviously it's a bathroom. It's not going to smell amazing, but like if you got like a Glade plug-in in there with some like cashmere woods or like apple cinnamon shit, like I'm down for that. And then soap. Just having soap is great.
Yeah. I loved, like at the Arnold this year, I think I made the comment a couple times. I'm like, say whatever you want about like the time period of like 2020 for the couple of years there. Like, but like people made such a hyper deal about like cleanliness and like soap and hand sanitizer and stuff. And then like, just like a year later, it's like, no, we just don't even have soap available in the bathroom.
Never heard of it.
We don't even have any soap. It's fine. There's just none.
Bitches.
It's like we just don't refill the soap now. It's like I'm not
Never
talking about
heard of her.
COVID. I just want like soap to like people have shit on their hands in here. Like, can we just have soap?
I just thought of this, Tanner.
Yeah.
Last year we had the stickers. Maybe this year we have like complimentary little soap bars that we can hand out.
Oh, there you
yeah,
go. Or
like,
a little pocket sanitizer like Bath and Body Works does.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but what I still think would be hilarious is, those things you go to where you put you put your face behind something. Like you go to like an amusement park and you put your head in something and you look like and you look like a lion or something like that. But I'm thinking it's above it says I survived the Arnold bathrooms, and you put your head in it. It's like a person sitting on a shitter.
Oh my God, that would be a
like,
perfect photo op.
Everyone would want to come and get a picture of that, right? Like,
yeah, I would freaking tear my ACL running over there to get a picture in that shit.
Yeah, yes. So, well, we'll workshop that a little bit, and maybe some people
absolutely.
listening
And
will have
also
good
like
ideas.
that, you can do that pretty easy, pretty low budget.
Yeah.
You can get that going.
And we didn't really get any pushback last year. We wondered if maybe anyone from the Arnold was going to be like, yeah, why do you got these stickers all over the place that said I survived the Arnold bathrooms? But
I ran into a few
it.
folks who were cleaning the bathrooms and who like there was
That's
one,
a generous use of the word cleaning.
Yeah. Well, there were a few who were trying because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do a review, I might as well do interviews, right? Like,
Really
okay,
get to the bottom of this.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
like what happened here? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? And there were a few of them that were like, this shit's disgusting. I don't want to deal with this. And then they like walked in, threw some paper towels on the counter and were like, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't really blame you. It's not like the upkeep, yeah, I can blame that, but like nobody does those bathrooms justice. And I didn't go into the men's. I had
Yeah.
other like dude friends go in. I'm like, hey, I need you to do some recon for me. And Tyler Butcher, also a super strong dude, Anderson guy, went in there and he's like, dude, it's flooded and there's a bunch of kitchen utensils in this thing.
I mean,
Like someone was
it's
washing fucking
it
dishes.
is
in
always
there.
flooded though.
the
There's
most-
always like this much water on the floor.
But like this year,
I'm
the
like,
most amazing
why?
part
Yeah,
was
I'm like,
when-
is the sub pump down or what?
yeah. But like this year, like we're there first as vendors. Like the public isn't there yet, and we walk in the one bathroom, and like 4 of the 8 stalls are already down. It's like the event hasn't started yet. How are
Oh,
stalls
no.
down already? Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Good question. Yeah, that's when I had to go in when we were setting up the booth because I'm like, I'm only going to get one opportunity to get a before video,
Mhm.
and then it was just downhill from there.
Yeah. So a big Dayton person, is Ohio in the Midwest?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. We always have to ask everyone that's
Yeah.
from Ohio because there's a lot of differing
Yeah,
opinions
I grew
on
up
Ohio.
in Northeast Ohio.
Okay. So is that
Yeah, I don't
close
know
to
if it's like the
Pennsylvania?
Korn. Kinda. Yeah, it's about like 3 hours away from Erie. So
Okay.
it was up by like Cleveland, Akron area.
Okay.
And like we didn't have very many people in my graduating class and like a couple stoplights in the town. So it was pretty rural.
Okay. So Midwest, yes, check mark. We'll submit your vote for yes, it is Midwest. You're a major in the Air Force?
Yeah, surprisingly.
You tie for highest ranking
They let
officer.
me.
Yeah, okay. They let you so but you tie for highest ranking officer we've had on the podcast now for the up to this point. We've had
Oh
now
shit.
had
Well,
two,
my
two-
lieutenant colonel board's in a few months.
Oh,
So does that mean I mean, is it a matter of time before you would be a lieutenant colonel then, or what?
It kind of just depends on like needs of the Air Force, what the numbers look like for my year group. Like I check all the boxes and my records are pretty decent, so fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah. How many years have you been in?
Coming up on 14.
And you started as an officer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went
Okay.
through ROTC at Bowling Green in Ohio and then got shipped off to all over the place.
Yeah. So what do you think about when people say the chair force? What are your thoughts on the chair force?
I agree. Most most of my jobs have been in a chair at a desk. I mean, there are jobs in the Air Force that are a lot more active, but for the most part, like if you compare it to the Army and the Navy and the Marine Corps and maybe not the Space Force, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, this is chair force. But I will say I came from a family of Marine enlisted folks, and every time they give me shit, and I'm like, well, you guys have fun sleeping in the field. I'm gonna be at the Marriott.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think you're wrong. That is
Yeah, they do throw money at us for, you know, uh quality of life stuff, which I appreciate. So
yeah. Do you ever as a major, do you run into many like lower enlisted that you can tell like they just get nervous around you immediately when you walk in the room? Like, does that happen a lot?
not so much. So in the jobs that I've had, I've worked with more like mid-level senior enlisted folks, but the last job that I had, I was an instructor for ROTC, so I taught cadets. So kids who are in college who are on the track to commission, and that was there were a few that got pretty nervous around me.
Yeah.
Just like the stutters happen, and they're not sure what to expect, and I'm like, it's fine, it's chill. And then it's okay, I'm a human being, it's gonna be fine. Just talk to me like a normal person.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was a really fun job. I had a blast doing that. Like teaching is my jam, so I'm a big fan.
That's cool. Well, another thing that's your jam. What's the deal with Korn?
Ugh. Honestly, that kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not really sure how that all evolved. It all started back when I was in Virginia with a few of my training partners. The movie The Longest Yard?
Yeah. Yeah, the one with
And
the remake, the one with like
the
Adam
original or the
Sandler.
remake, yeah.
yep. Yeah, so they're doing the tryouts, and Joey
Can
Diaz
of
is
Corn.
on the
Yeah.
ground. Can of corn, and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So like when we would do our dynamic days, that's what we would say all the time. And then we turned into the Corn crew, and I was the only female, so then I was Corn mommy, which turned into just like, fuck it, can of corn, I'll be fine. And then I was just like, yeah, corn's awesome. Yeah, I love it. Like, let's just go with it. We got like corn t-shirts made, corny stuff, and then it evolved into like corn was then the code word for like corn hub and all of that stuff. And then the Corn Kid came out with his song and shit, and then
Yeah.
it just took off.
What was that? It was like or what I'm kind of forgetting that already. That
I
that
can't even remember what the
It's
Korn
I
like-
kid
really
said.
like corn.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like corn, but then I was thinking, or is that the I like turtles kid?
I
I'm
think is what
confusing
you're
that.
confusing
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. I love the I like turtles kid.
Yeah. Not to
But
be
yeah,
confused with
the
the I
Corn
like
Kid
corn.
went crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I also like turtles, but corn stuck more than turtles.
Yeah. So what's better, cream corn or corn on the cob?
Oh, shit. Corn on the cob. Especially if
Yeah.
you like church it up and you put like some spices on there and like kind of turn it into like elote, Mexican street corn, and you know,
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
I don't even eat that much corn. The amount of corn shit that people send me is unbelievable. I'm like, and I gotta sit there and I'm like, hell yeah, corn. I love it. Which I do like corn.
Is there
Don't get me wrong.
There's a corn emoji, right? Or not?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
do you use that a lot
yeah.
then, or
I do. Anytime sends me
like just
someone
respond
sends
with the
me-
corn emoji?
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
react, corn
Yeah.
emoji.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That would
And then
be the
also
go-to.
like there's the Ohio, like the town I grew up in is a big like corn town. So I'm like, yeah, you hear big corn fed people.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I identify as that.
Okay. Sweet potato fries, yay or nay?
Ooh. It depends on what are we dipping them in? Can I do a caveat?
Well, a lot of times I would say you dip them in ranch, I think is what sweet potato fries would go in. Is ranch
Then
or
yay.
yeah.
If it's ketchup, absolutely not. Gross, disgusting.
Yeah, that's a
Jail.
no-go. Yeah, no ketchup on sweet potato fries. I agree.
Ranch, yes. Have you ever had them if they're salted and you dip them in a little bit of maple syrup?
that's a good
I have not,
juxtaposition.
but
the
I
sweet
could see
and
how that would make
savory.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Chef's
see that.
kiss.
Yeah. Are corn and potatoes like really vegetables?
Oh, good question.
Like,
I
I
guess
mean,
if
I
you wanna
know
get
it's a
sciencey with
well,
it.
no, not even the science. Like, do they feel like they're vegetables to you or not?
No, like knee-jerk
Right.
reaction, gut instinct, going off of how I feel, they don't feel like veggies.
Right. That's what I think too. Like,
They don't feel like
veg to
freaking
you.
kale.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Broccoli
If
feels
you
like a
eat
vegetable.
Exactly. Like if you're chomping on a corn cob, like does it feel like eating a carrot
No.
or eating a tomato? No.
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 I would say no.
Yeah.
You got to go
Toma-
based off feel. Go with your gut.
That's what I think. Like you bring up an interesting one there. It's tomato. Well, that people are like, well, that's a fruit, but I'm like, really though? Like that feels like a vegetable.
Come on, get real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Don't get
senses are all jacked up. If you're
Yeah.
like, that's a fruit. No, it's not. Tomato doesn't
That's
feel
not what
like
fruit tastes like.
pineapple.
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities in a lot of these fruits, and tomato shares almost doesn't feel the same. It's not the same.
No, it doesn't feel right. I agree.
Okay. Someone put this question in there, and I don't know if it has any particular relevance, like if you have a strong opinion on this, and if you don't, we could just skip it. But someone wanted to know your thoughts on breast implants for shorter range of motion on the bench press. Like, do you have a specific take on that or something? Or do you know why someone would want to know your take on that?
Okay, so I do have opinions on this, mostly because this might have been someone that I know, because I'm always like, I'm gonna go to the plastic surgeon, and if you lift equipped, you'll understand this. And I'm like, can you just make them big and low so that you basically have, you're benching to a board. And yeah, exactly. And my opinions on bench implants or breast implants and
bench
benching.
implants.
Oh,
though, like
bench implants. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. A surgical board press.
Yeah.
I
like,
think
has
it's
anyone
dope. And if I could, I would.
I wonder, like, I've never really come across it where has anyone ever done that before? Have you ever come across someone that's like, you probably did that to help your bench? Like, I've never seen anyone that's taken that extreme yet, but maybe it exists.
I don't think so. I know women who do have implants who, they have a tough time in equipment because it's so much pressure on them. And I could imagine, like, it hurts just natural breasts. Like, that sucks.
Right.
I can't imagine that. But I'm just thinking of, I don't know her name, but she's at the Arnold every year, and she's an icon.
What's her name, Tommy? We have it's one of our most popular YouTube videos.
Foxy Menagerie.
No, it's one of my
Foxy Menagerie. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That name is so good. Oh my God, Foxy Menagerie. Damn.
Our good old friend Foxy
second.
Menagerie. Yeah.
Good old
For
friend
that
Foxy.
one.
Of course,
But
that's
like,
her
imagine
name, right?
imagine her benching. Like,
we interviewed her
nothing.
we asked her about it, and she I think she said she doesn't really like bench that
Yeah,
much.
she said she can't because of the implants.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either, honestly.
It is funny.
But
though.
like,
Th-
that'd be
yeah.
pretty dope. It'd be like a 3-inch range of motion.
All for her.
Like, girl could come and set some records.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd she say? They weigh 26 pounds each. So
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, we made that video with her and we put it out. I think it was like a 3-minute video. We're just asking her questions, Tanner. And I think we put it out and it probably got like 300 views and it was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Our audience, there's not a ton of crossover. And now for some reason, the YouTube algorithm picked up on it. And now it's like our 3rd most popular YouTube video ever. It's like, oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It doesn't
That's
like
always how it works.
Yeah.
it's like not really what the rest of our YouTube content's about. So I don't know like how much good it does us of getting people in on the rest of it, but whatever. I guess it's views or something.
Yeah, I'm still
I'll
waiting
play around with like thumbnails and shit. Like, the other day, I had I zoomed in on one of my squat videos and it was from the back, and I had like a U-shaped sports bra on, and it looked like cleavage.
I saw it.
And I was like,
yes.
hell yeah, freaking front rack.
Yes.
So I made that my thumbnail, and then it went crazy. And then I got a bunch of DMs like, oh, it's clickbait or freaking tea. And I'm like, what the hell? And I tagged Dave in it.
Yeah.
Tag Dave in it. And when you tag someone, you just see like the thumbnail. And he messaged me. He's like, at first I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Amber? Like, what is going on? Like, are you okay? And then the video started and it was a zoomed out picture of me squatting from
Yep.
behind. And he was like, oh man, that was good.
Yep. Yep. And then a bunch of dudes were pissed that
Yeah.
tricked them.
Sorry, perverts. Gotcha.
Yeah, think about the pervs for once.
Every once in a
know.
while, you just got to throw the perverts a bone.
I'm so insensitive.
Okay, we have this
Oh,
game we
shit.
play with everyone on the show called Overrated, Underrated. And we have a special hand-picked Amber Hansen set of topics. And it's just your job to decide if each one is overrated or underrated. You can't ride the line. I know we told you that our show's not that political, but this is where we get really super political every time. So we're going to
Yeah.
get like all the politics and stuff get involved in
Let's
this one.
do it.
Yeah.
Election season, baby. Let's go.
My body is ready. I am close to Springfield, so all my animals are marked safe.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes,
that will tie into a lot of these next
yeah.
topics. So
Yeah. That's good to know. Yeah. Okay. Overrated or underrated roller derby?
Underrated, 100% underrated. Will not ride the line even close to that one.
You won't skate on the line.
No, I will not even skate on that line. Roller derby is so fun and badass. And if you have a chance to find a team near you to go watch a bout or a game, like go have a few beers, go to the roller derby game, scream at all the skaters, and just like watch people hit the shit out of each other and like do really athletic stuff on skates. So fun.
how long have
Tommy
you
is-
been doing it?
Yeah.
I started playing derby when I was stationed out in New Mexico in, I think it was 2013. And then I played a few years. I played in New Mexico, and then I played for West Texas for maybe, I think like 4 years. And then I got stationed in Ohio, and then I was going to join a team in Ohio, but it was in Columbus, and I got stationed in Dayton. So I was like, oh, shoot. And then I just found a gym instead and started powerlifting. So I never joined another team, but I still go and like skate at the parks and stuff for fun. And I'll probably end up joining another team sometime because I think it would be fun to kind of see like that was like 165 Amber when I came to
Oh, yeah.
Ohio, and to see what 220 Amber can do in roller derby would be kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I need you to remind me of something, or see if you're aware of this. I feel like I want to say like late 90s, early
Yes.
2000s. Was there a roller
Yeah.
derby show on TV?
I think it was called like Roller Jam or something like that when I was a kid. It might have been on Spike TV, or I don't know what
Yep.
channel it was on. I
Yeah.
absolutely remember that time.
Oh, okay. It is roller jam. No.
I don't know if that's
Yeah,
what it's called,
yeah,
but I
Roller
know what you're
Jam.
talking about.
Yep, 99
I
to
see it in my
2001. Okay, now I feel like with that show, again, I would have been pretty young, but I feel like there was like this WWE element to it where there was like a lot of storylines and some like orchestrated maneuvering happening.
Mhm.
Does that same thing happen in like local roller derbies, or is it more just a free for all?
So no, there's like a whole like timeline legacy of that, because like back in the day in the 70s when it was super popular on the bank tracks, there was a ton more like WWE wrestling type production, and there would be like orchestrated fights.
Yeah.
And okay, this person's gonna fight with this person at this time, and they're gonna get in an argument. Now it's a lot more professionalized, and there's like a whole national set of rules.
Oh,
So
And
it's straight up is a competition. Like it's a real,
Yep.
like, yeah, you're like going into it like you're strategizing how to actually win. Like it's
Absolutely.
not. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it got a lot more streamlined, and it went from the bank track. There's still bank track roller derby. It's still pretty big in Texas. Like Austin is kind of where it originated, I think. But yeah, like if you look up Gotham in New York, they're a really good team. Rose City in Portland is a really good team. Victoria in, I think that's Melbourne, amazing team. And like internationally, like it's pretty big.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like position from Roller Jam. I remember like someone's like the scorer, the one that's trying to go around really fast and evade people, and then I don't know if there's like enforcers, or maybe that was part of the WWE element that they
Kinda,
put
yeah.
in it. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's your point scorer. So each team has a jammer, which is your point scorer.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
each team has like a wall of blockers.
Right.
And basically you're playing offense and defense at the same time. So you're trying to get your point scorer through while trying to stop the point scorer of the other team.
Okay. So it's not
It's
just it's not
awesome.
just a wrestling match on wheels then.
No, it's not. Like sometimes it does get into that. Like
Yeah.
like there were some fights that we got into. Like it's I would say it's it's more like hockey now in terms of like, yeah, there are fights that are kind of like regulated. It just depends on, how lenient the officials are and the venue is. But they're not really scripted anymore.
Okay. Are you you're a good skater then, obviously? Like, have you always been
I'm pretty decent.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like now it's rough. Like if I go to the skate park, I'm like, oh my God, I have so much more weight on these freaking skates that I have to deal with. But like growing up, like I started in figure skating. That was one of the first sports that I
Oh,
did. So I went
okay.
through and I was a competitive figure skater. Then they were like, you can't do this anymore. You're too big. Um, and then also it's super expensive. And I had a single mom at the time and she was like, oh, I can't afford this shit. So we got out of that. And then I've then found it again once I got back in the military and I was like, oh, I want to do something active. Derby team.
Are you team Tanya Harding or Nancy Kerrigan?
Oh shit. Oh, I'm such a dirtbag if I say Tanya. I am. But like, come on, like cry me a river, Nancy. Like, I'm sorry about your knee.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you've seen, okay, I, Tanya, hilarious movie, and Margot Robbie or Robbie, however you say her name, acted the shit out of Tanya Harding.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
those-
I was never like the graceful, like jazz hands
Right.
figure skater. They were always like, oh yeah, she can jump, she can do like the athletic, powerful
athletic
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was always I kind of I don't want to say identified with the criminal Tanya Harding, but like her story, I could relate a little bit more to her because I was not very graceful.
Well, and a lot of people sometimes they would like to like take a lead pipe to their opponent's leg, but usually just don't actually do it. Is the usually
Yeah, exactly. Like she followed through.
Yeah. Usually you just let that end
Literally.
as a thought. Yeah.
Her intrusive thoughts won in that,
Yeah,
or
yes.
her boyfriend and her
Right.
whatever that dork's name was that did it.
Okay. Overrated or underrated?
Sorry, Nancy.
Yeah. Sorry, Nancy. Home Improvement, the show. Overrated or underrated?
Oh my God, underrated. So
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah.
Wilson is like one of the best characters ever.
That you never
Like,
see.
exactly. And he he just left such a mark on sitcoms. Like there were people who was it when I was in college, I saw one guy who just carried around a fence and had a bucket hat on and he was Wilson for Halloween and I'm like, that
Nice.
is good.
Yeah, that's good. Which of the brothers was your favorite of the three brothers?
Oh shoot. Not Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Okay.
He was no. The
then
oldest one.
Randy, maybe? Mark is the young one, I remember.
Yeah, I think Randy,
Or
because he was
yeah.
I can't.
He was
remember
the bigger
oldest one's
one,
name.
right?
Yeah, so the older one though. The older one, yeah. I think Tim Allen also, like, prior to his acting career, got in trouble with the law for like selling cocaine too.
Did he
Like
really?
was
Yeah,
I think he actually did time in federal
went to
prison.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Tim, you're going to prison.
And that's when they're like,
easy.
that is hilarious. We need that on television. Yeah.
Yeah, give him a TV show with Al. I loved Al. And who was the woman who was like their assistant?
Yeah. Well,
like
Heidi.
Heidi.
yeah.
Heidi. It actually, in the early episodes, I think it was Pamela Anderson. Like
Yeah,
the
she was.
earliest
Really?
seasons.
Yep.
Yeah, Heidi used to be Pamela Anderson. She was the original assistant. Maybe it was just like a
I need
season
to
or
go
something. I might be wrong.
rewatch.
No, you're
Am I
right.
wrong on that?
I'm
Okay.
looking here. You're right. Yeah, she was part of the cast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
I really do. But yeah, Heidi was like, ooh, I want to be some assistant on a home improvement show.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think so, Tim.
Icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Korn with a K. Korn the band.
Overrated.
Yeah.
That's all they fucking do. There's like, they have some good songs, like some I'll get down to, but like the amount of Korn songs that I hear at a powerlifting meet is just, it's too much.
It is in the powerlifting. It isn't
part of
right
the
in
scene.
there, isn't it? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's like right after Hail to the King, there's a Korn song.
Down with the sickness.
Yeah. AC/DC. We have a joke at Elite where we're just all sick of AC/DC, but then a song will come on and it will clearly not be AC/DC, and one of us will ask, "Is this AC/DC?" And it'll be like freaking Evanescence or something.
Yeah.
Like
Wake
someone
me
will
up
get pissed about
inside.
it. Yeah.
Can't wake up.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Powerlifting songs are amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, overrated.
Okay. Last one. This is the most important one. You may not know what this is. You may know what this is. I could give it a 50-50 toss up, but if you don't know what it is, it's going to be fun to teach you about it. So we're from South Dakota. Tommy lives in Sioux Falls. I live in Aberdeen. Somewhere kind of in between us, sort of, is a town called Mitchell, South Dakota. And Mitchell, South Dakota is very, very well known for one thing. Somewhat nationally famous for this. Mitchell, South Dakota has overrated or underrated the Korn Palace. Have you ever heard of the Korn Palace before?
Okay, yes. I've heard of the Corn Palace. Someone has sent it to me, and I've
Yes.
seen photos of it,
Yes, it's real.
and it is real, and I would say highly underrated. Like the amount of time that someone put in to creating that is admirable. That's for sure.
Yeah. The thing, it's decorated every year.
Yeah, every year.
So
the
like
corn
it's
pattern
redone
changes.
every
Oh.
single year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do the different years have different themes? Like what's this
I
year?
think so. Like I think it looks different every year, right?
Yeah,
Tommy,
I'm just
or do you
looking
know?
like there's like if you look at pictures one year, like they have a bunch of like Elvis and music pictures on the side. Then another
yeah,
year,
Graceland
it's like
corn.
scenes of South
Yeah.
Dakota. Another year, there's like Olympic stuff going on. Yeah, I mean they change it up every year.
And
See, I admire that dedication.
yeah, for anyone that doesn't know too, there's a lot of different colors of corn. So they use like reds, browns, blacks, blues, all this stuff to make these like intricate designs. I don't know. Is there a politically correct term for that kind of corn that they use for that? Because I know like as a kid, people called that Indian corn, but I don't know if that's probably like the preferred type, like
Good
what
question.
people want to say about that. Maybe that's not even bad. I'm not
I
not
don't-
sure,
I don't
but
know
for the
either.
sake of
Yeah, I
it
don't
maybe
think so.
being politically incorrect, I'll say that maybe it's called something besides Indian corn, but I don't know what it's called.
So I am a part of a exotic corn group on Facebook.
but- okay. So do you have inside information for us then?
I don't know if this is exactly the one that you're talking about. I think I have it in my brain what you're talking about, but there is another kind of corn with like different colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they call that gemstone corn.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's maybe what
Yeah.
we're talking about here then, actually.
It,
Yeah.
it may be. And I saw it and I was like, man, that's beautiful. I would decorate my house with that. Like I would,
Or a
'cause
palace.
It looks like,
Yeah,
Or a
whole
palace.
If I could find
A
a palace,
throne.
I would decorate that.
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want an iron throne. I would want the corn throne.
Obviously, if you ever make it to South Dakota, you kind of have to go to the Corn Palace.
Oh, 100%.
Imagine the
100%.
Instagram reel.
Yeah. That would be a whole series of reviews.
Imagine reviewing the bathroom inside the Korn Palace.
Oh yeah, come take a shit with me in the Corn Palace.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, we could go so many different directions with that.
Yes.
I
Good
should be
news.
taking notes.
Great news, actually. We just tallied everything up. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated. So
Yes.
congratulations. It's a big
Hell
deal.
yeah.
High honor.
High honor.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was passing and failing.
Yeah,
It's very
not many
serious.
people fail, but because you passed, that means we do air the episode. If anyone fails, we don't actually put it out there to the public. But since you passed,
That's
it's
fair.
gonna go out. Yep. It is. So congratulations and thanks for playing. So your Instagram handle is is Alice your middle name?
No.
Oh, okay, it's just like you just
My nana calls me Amber Alice Petunia because it's ironic because I've never been like a delicate, graceful flower. So she was like, I'm gonna call her something really girly.
okay.
So
that's where it
Amber
comes from.
Alice came from.
Gotcha. Yeah. What is it exactly like for people? Is it Amber Alice, or is there like underscores and numbers
Yeah,
and letters and stuff too?
It's Amber with 2 R's, so AMBERR.Alice, ALICE.
Okay. So if people are listening and maybe if they listened and they didn't know about you, is that where you would want to direct people to follow along?
Yeah,
on
I
your
don't.
journey?
Other than the Korn groups I'm in, I'm not really active on Facebook. I don't do Twitter or whatever the artist formerly known as Twitter is at all, or like X or anything. Pretty much just on Instagram. So
If someone
That's
wants
it.
to become a ROTC Air Force recruit, can they DM you?
oh, they absolutely can. I will point them in the right direction.
Okay.
I got all the info on that. You want to be a cadet?
Yeah.
Come on board.
And do you know the date of your next time competing then?
I actually don't. This is like the
Okay.
first time in a long time where I haven't had anything on the books in a while. So I would say it's probably going to be the 2025 Women's Pro-Am, which is in April. However, we might push it out a little longer. We'll see.
Is that who runs that?
That's Laura Phelps to
Yeah,
me
okay,
in
that's what I thought,
Cincinnati,
yeah.
the all
Yep.
women's one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that meets awesome.
Will we see you at the Arnold in 2025?
You sure will.
All
I
right.
should I'll be out there at the Anderson booth.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't have details of it yet, but like I'm only an hour away, so whatever help I can give them, I absolutely do.
All right. We'll meet you there at the bathrooms. Go from there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we can do a collab. You guys
Yeah,
do the men's
crossover.
one, and I'll do
Yeah.
the women's. Yeah.
Yeah.
The collab no one ever wanted or asked for.
It's not the collab they needed. It's the collab they deserved.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. This was a lot of fun. I think everyone is going to
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
Hope so.
Thanks. It was cool.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Amber.
See ya.
Take care.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Cool beans.
Of course, those cool beans are mixed with corn. We know that.
Yeah, corn and beans. Cool beans and hot corn. Hell of a dish. Famous Dayton, Ohio dish. Cool beans with hot corn.
Keep you guessing on the temp. What's going on here?
Yeah. You mix them together, you get a room temperature dish of beans and corn.
Yeah. Just nothing's cold and nothing's hot. Just very middle of the road.
Just like beans and corn.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That
was.
was a great interview. I think that was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
I just gonna want to pat ourselves on the back. I think we hit that one out of the park.
God, we are just so good at this. Oh man,
It only took 442 episodes, but I think we got it down.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Nothing else we can improve on now. I guess this will probably have to be the last episode.
This is the pinnacle.
I do want to make sure everyone knows to go and check out JUGGERNAUTAI.app. Juggernaut is the training that Tommy and I both use. Tommy, are you back on Juggernaut yet, or what's your Juggernaut status?
No. This is this.
So I lied. It's not actually the training that Tommy uses at this minute.
At this exact moment, I'm still easing back into it. I will be starting that program up again. Probably not next week, 'cause it's a weird week. So probably the week after.
Okay. But it is the program that tens of thousands of athletes use. The longer you use it, the better you get, the better it gets. It's principle-based, phasic structure training that leads you through hypertrophy blocks, strength blocks, and peaking blocks. So if you're a power lifter, it works great peaking for your meets. If you're just a gym lifter that wants to be able to test your squat, bench, and deadlift and get those stronger in time, it works awesome for that. So check it out. You can find out more information at juggernautai.app. When you're there, that's where you can sign up and use discount code Massenomics. You can't use the discount code through the app. You have to sign up through the website, and that's where you can use discount code Massenomics. And we get a little something back from that, so we appreciate if you use that. Thank you.
This episode is also brought to you by SwissLink. Since 1995, SwissLink has been importing military-issue goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. SwissLink is home to the authentic Wavian fuel cans. They're made from the same factory that's been pumping out the jerry cans for the NATO forces since the 1940s. They're made from 0.9 millimeters of cold-rolled steel. Wavians are the highest quality gas cans on the market today. The team at SwissLink has also added a high-quality water can as well. So now you can pick up a Wavian, it fits all your Wavian jerry can holders, and is made from food-grade 304 stainless steel, so you know it's going to be good. The cap is also knurled to give you that good grip. A vent at the top ensures a good flow, and the can has the same three-handle configuration as its fuel counterpart. This is another addition to SwissLink's exceptional collection and their dedication to quality customer service. Now you can enjoy a 15% discount on your next purchase at swisslink.com by using code MASS at checkout. That's MASS. Save you 15% at swisslink.com. Thank you, SwissLink.
Thanks, friends over at SwissLink. Like we said, make sure to check out the 50% sale if you haven't yet, just in case I forget to mention that one more time. We read from all of our sponsors this week. I would also say, talking about the Strength Co., SwissLink, Juggernaut, all these sponsors on our site. If you go to the Massenomics.com, we've got a page of affiliates. There's also others in there besides our direct sponsors like MarcoFactor, affiliate links for Bells of Steel, Rep Fitness, a whole bunch of other ones. If you want to support us additionally, you go through any of those links. MarcoFactor, there's a discount code for Massenomics that will get you a few weeks for free, and we get something in return from that on all of them. So we appreciate it if you use it. Are we going to do this? Was there a game? Do we have time for a game?
Would you like to play a game, Tanner?
We haven't had a good game for a while. I don't think.
I always, I've been thinking about, we've been missing games for a while. That's what the show's been missing.
Yeah.
And, I came up with a little game that I feel like is fairly topical with what's been happening recently. So I feel like, before I kick off a game, do you have like a little sound that signifies it's time to play a game over there? There, that's it. Okay, now I'm ready to play a game. Okay, so we have a new game, Tanner. This is the first one.
All right.
And this is going to be the Powerlifting Federation tagline game, where I've been scourging the deep corners of the internet for all of the powerlifting federations. And
let me interrupt you. It's a trick question. All of them are. All of the tagline for every one of them is for the lifters.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself here. Just don't get ahead of yourself here. Okay.
Every single one of them is for the lifters. I already know.
So I have some additional commentary after we finish the game,
which is ironic because none of them are for the lifters.
I have some additional commentary after we finish this that I uncovered through my research time here, but. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. Because there's a lot of federations out there, so I've limited it to 6. I have 6 federations.
Would you say 6 of the big ones, or?
Well, I think maybe I should tell you the 6 federations so you can have something to match it up to.
Okay.
So
it's a matching
I have 6
game,
federations and 6 taglines. It's your job to match them up. Do you want to write these down so you have so you can cross them off as you go?
Yes. So what do we got?
We have the USPA. The USAPL, the PA, Powerlifting America. PU, Powerlifting United.
That's a funny acronym.
Yes. IPA.
IPA?
Yes, IPA.
Another funny acronym.
Yes, it is. And then we're going to say, I didn't really understand this distinction until I was going through here, but is the WPC. I did not know the APF is an arm of the WPC. That is the international.
That's the international.
It's the militant wing of the WPC. The militant wing of the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are your options, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to read a tagline, and it is your job to match the tagline to the proper federation.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. We'll start out, I think maybe kind of easy here. The athlete's choice for drug-free strength sport.
Athlete's choice for drug-free strength sport. I guess it's either got to be Powerlifting America or USAPL. The athlete's choice. Say it one more time in full detail.
The athlete's choice for drug-free strength sport.
I feel like, to me, I'm not sure which one it is. The one that is more accurate to me, if we're saying the athlete's choice, you're saying like the athletes on a whole, the large majority of the athletes, it's the one they're choosing. On the whole, yes. On the whole. The athlete's choice, it would be USAPL.
That is correct.
Okay.
Good job. You are 1 for 1.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, we're going to, next on the list. Tagline is where strength meets standards. Where strength meets standards.
That is not the APF or the WPC. I don't really. The only one that. Oh, wait a second. I don't think it's Powerlifting America. I don't really think it's Powerlifting United. That seems like it should be more like for the lifters. I don't know what the hell IPA is. What's that stand for even? Can I
believe it's International
Powerlifting Association. I don't know. Like that doesn't mean anything to me. Say it one more time. The exact phrasing of it.
Where strength meets standards.
To me, that kind of feels like the USPA, although there's irony there on the standards thing. I don't know if this is right, but my guess is USPA.
That was a good guess. I like all the logic you used, but you are incorrect. That is Powerlifting United, where strength meets standards.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too, because I guess they're like, no, now we have standards.
Yes, we're setting the standard here.
Yeah. I feel like that's a little presumptuous to say that they have standards when it barely even exists, correct? But
okay, next on the list. Experience the difference. Experience the difference.
That cannot be Powerlifting America. I don't think that that's USPA either. Experience the difference. I don't like that one.
This one is even trademarked. So it's quite
that
official.
One seems bad. So I feel like it's either IPA or WPC. I don't know what IPA is, and maybe I've never experienced the difference. So I'm going to say IPA, experience the difference.
Since 2010, experience the difference has been the motto of the USPA.
Oh. Experience the difference?
Yes.
That sucks. What does that mean? That's the most general thing. Like,
I know. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Next on the list. Lifters for lifters.
That feels like the APF thing to me. I'm going to say WPC, lifters for lifters.
Lifters for lifters is the IPA.
Okay. And I guess I don't know what that one is. So.
Okay. All right. Next on the list.
I'm not doing great at this. Have
no,
I gotten
you're not.
One right?
No, you don't get
this
the feds. Hard. You just don't get the feds is your problem. Next on the list.
Lifters for lifters. Okay. That was the one that I said though. Like that That was all of them. I knew lifters.
Yeah. All right. So
they're
we did
for
lifters,
the lifters.
lifters for lifters. This next
They're not
one,
just for the lifters. That is the lifters
No,
for the
this
lifters.
is lifters.
So you know it's
lifters for lifters. This next one is a lifters organization.
okay. Then I'll say WPC, a lifters
That
organization.
is correct. WPC is a lifters organization.
Yeah. So they are for the lifters also. Thank God.
Yes. Okay. Now this next one kind of takes the formula and flips it on its head. This next one is for the athlete. For the athlete.
Well, I have been cheating and writing these down, so it's Powerlifting America. That's not what I would have associated as. They should have used a tagline that's more like USAPL's, like the athlete's choice for drug-free powerlifting. That's
Well, I mean, to be fair, the USAPL existed first, so they beat them to it. You know?
but they should come up with something not for the athlete. I'm like, oh, Powerlifting America. What do you think their tagline is? For the athlete?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'll give you some of the.
So half of them were for the lifters.
For somebody else. So I got to say, I was really hoping I'd have a list of like 20 of these. But what I figured going into this is that every one of these is going to have some janky ass website that barely exists and works.
Yeah.
And my hunch was correct. Most of them have a janky ass website that barely works, doesn't have anything on it, and is broken. So that immediately limited my options for finding taglines. Also, a lot of them, for being an organization, have put no effort into making their organization anything. So they have never thought of a tagline. Some of them had these listed on their Instagram profiles. So whether that's an official tagline they use or not, I feel like if you're going to put in your Instagram bio, it must mean something.
That counts.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I just got to say though, looking through the websites, man, if you're new to the sport of powerlifting, you're like, oh, there's a lot of federations. I got to pick one. How am I going to pick a federation to compete in? I know. I'll look them up and figure out what's different about these organizations. None of them have that. None of them say, most of them don't even have an about page. So I'm like, what's the deal with this organization? It's like, good luck, man. We're not telling you what we do different than anyone else. I guess it's like, read the rule book and maybe you can try to figure it out on your own if there's something different, but we're not going to tell you why we're different or why we exist compared to the other ones.
Yeah. When I'm looking at those, also, if you just say you're for the lifters, what else do you need to say though? You're like, we're for the lifters. Like, this is for me. I'm a lifter.
Yeah. Maybe throw in the other catch-all is like, say like you're a one-stop shop for something. That's the other catch-all for marketing phrases.
We make things pop. I think USAPL's is pretty good. As I read them, I don't think Powerlifting United, maybe theirs isn't that bad because it's at least doesn't just say for the lifters, and they're saying where strength meets standards, and that kind of says something to me where you're saying like, yeah, we're a home for really strong, probably untested athletes, but we still are going to have standards. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, that says something, not just saying for the lifters.
Yeah, from
like
a purely
marketing true or whatever, I don't know. But
from a pure marketing standpoint and like branding, I that's probably my favorite is where strength meets standards. As like, it's not like USAPL, athlete's choice for drug-free strength sport. Like that almost just feels like it's a mission statement. It's very clear and obvious,
descriptive,
but it's so exact. The one thing I will note though, going through all these websites, on the untested side, hands down, the USAPL is just killing everyone. And as far as like actually coming off like an organization, they have so much more resources and like working websites and information. Like the other federations are not even close to, sorry, I'm saying the USPA. The USPA is killing everyone in the game as far as actually looking like a real organization. All the other ones, I mean, they don't have anything. Like it's just...
USAPLs, I'm sure, is legit.
Yeah,
too,
and there's
but Powerlifting
like also
America is probably good too.
We know like drug tested powerlifting kind of is on a different standard for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the drug tested side, man, this little bit of this exercise here just proved to me that tomorrow, if you said, okay, wake up tomorrow, we have to make a Massenomics Powerlifting Federation and we have to make it legit. No, not exaggerating one bit. Outside of the USPA, we could have the best looking powerlifting federation website up by the end of the day tomorrow.
2 hours.
By the end of the day tomorrow, it would be the most legit looking. We could have the rule. We could have everything done. We could have, and it would just blow everyone out of the water. It wouldn't even be comparable.
I 100% believe that we could.
And part of me
that's
was like,
possible.
God, if I had time, it would almost be worth it just to troll it, to make a fake powerlifting federation. Because Powerlifting United does this huge big splash. It's like, no, ours would be better than theirs in one day. And it just, it's just so dumb.
Yeah, their tagline is not bad though.
No, it's not terrible.
I got to hand it to them there.
Yeah. I mean, ours would obviously be lift hard, live easy.
Of course. I mean, I think that goes without saying. But
no, instantly what we're talking about.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, not at all.
All right.
So that
was a good game.
That's another Fed update for the week there.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this Powerlifting Federation train rolling every week.
I guess I should make note though. SPF, Southern Powerlifting Federation. I could not find any mottos or taglines for them. RPS could not find anything for them.
I was going to ask if RPS had
XPC
anything.
could not find anything for them. Even the IPF, I struggled to find anything for them. I found a few kind of like mission statement type things, but nothing that felt like a real tagline. I'm trying to think if there was any other. Oh, WRPF, nothing for them either. Yeah, a lot of nothing.
Powerlifting Federate. What's the deal with powerlifting federations? All right. What do we want to do? Anything else this week, or should we?
That's probably
bring it towards
it.
the end. We kind of can't cover too much in 442, or else we won't have anything to talk about in 443.
That's right.
That's what I've always said. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, though. We got to get on that road to 600. We're not on the road to 600, but I'd love to be there. It's a road that I've often dreamed of, is being on the road, the journey to 600.
That was the whole reason I started to do this whole
reviews.
thing, was the road to 600.
It's to get to 600 5-star Apple Podcast reviews, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page then. That's why we both started this, is to get on that. So please leave us a 5-star review. You've probably been, if you've been listening like in the last year, you're relatively new. I don't think you've left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and I'm disappointed about that.
Yeah, you got to get on that.
While you're at, and once you finish doing that, or maybe even prior to it, become a supporting member. Go to Massenomics.com/join. That is the number one way that you can support this show. That is a huge part of what continues. It's really, at this point in my life, it's the only thing that gets me out of bed in the morning, is checking the supporting membership list. So please, for the love of God, become a supporting member. That wasn't really true, but I would still like it if you became a supporting member. Check out our website where all the merch is for sale. We had this 50% off sale, but that's not all. We got other things on there that aren't 50% off if you're more of a full price kind of guy or gal.
We got things that are 100% on.
Yes, that's my favorite sale, the 100% on sale, like our drink spotters, a bunch of other teas. I mean, actually, we're going to be fairly low on inventory and a lot of things once the sale hits, but we've got more coming.
We're going to be working on a real package here pretty soon. So
yes,
stay tuned.
Yes, we got big things coming, of course. Stick with us. Follow along on Instagram and everything as we make our North and South Carolina journey. And last, of course, not least, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That we are putting more time and effort into that YouTube channel than probably almost anything else, or at least we've greatly increased our time and effort. And it seems like every week we're only spending more time and effort on that part of Massenomics. So please, if you're not subscribing, do. And also just check out some videos. We have a ton of YouTube videos out there, and I think a lot of them are pretty fun, pretty entertaining. Check out the new home gym tour that we did at Perfect Little Sweeties. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just please make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.